ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضاه. Last lesson we covered الدرس الحادي عشر. الدرس الحادي عشر, the 11th lesson. We mentioned the rules that were related to that lesson and we set out two pieces of homework. The first homework was a reading and writing exercise. I have written out the first one. It says من في هذا البيت, who is in this house, فيه حامد, in it is Hamid. Hamid is in this house. طيب, the second one and the rest of them I'm going to actually write it so people can see how it's done. طيب, number 2 says ماذا في الحقيبة. Question: ماذا في الحقيبة. Question is ماذا في الحقيبة. See how there's no tashkil, so you're expected to know where to place the tashkil. You're expected to understand and apply the rules that we've covered in this book. ماذا في الحقيبة. What's in the bag. فيها, in the bag, so the ha is going back to the حقيبة. Here it's فيه مذكر because we're talking about the house, which is مذكر. فيها كتابي وقلمي ودفتري. Okay. فيها كتابي وقلمي ودفتري. That's the second sentence. So if I was to analyze this sentence, this would be جار ومجرور شبه جملة خبر مقدم. The خبر has been brought forward and حامد is مبتدأ مؤخر. Same here. فيها جار ومجرور شبه جملة خبر مقدم. كتاب is the مبتدأ and it's مرفوع, but we can't see the ضمة because it's مضاف to ياء المتكلم, so مضاف مضاف إليه. واو حرف عطف. قلم is معطوف to كتاب, it's also مرفوع, but we can't see the ضمة because it's مضاف to ياء المتكلم. واو حرف عطف. دفتر is also معطوف to كتاب, it's also مرفوع, but we can't see the ضمة because it's مضاف to ياء المتكلم. Okay, number 3 says من في السيارة. Number 3, من في السيارة. من في السيارة, who is in the car. فيها أبي وأمي وأخي وأختي. In it فيها أبي وأمي وأخي وأختي. That's number 3. Number 4, من في مسجد الجامعة الآن, who is in the university's masjid of the university right now. مسجد الجامعة الآن. من في مسجد الجامعة الآن, who is in the university's masjid right now. ما فيه أحد. فيه أحد means there's a person inside. فيه أحد, there's a person inside. ما فيه أحد means there's no one inside. ما, this is the نافية, the one that comes to negate. ما عندي, same ما. ما فيه أحد, no one is inside. Next question. من في هذه الغرفة. Number 5, من في هذه الغرفة. هذه الغرفة. Okay, let's finish when تشكيل الغرفة. There's a noun here with alif lam after اسم الإشارة. So this is going to be بدل مبدل منه. So we look at the مبدل منه to determine the إعراب of the بدل. What's the إعراب of this? This is في محل جر, because it's preceded by حرف جر في. So this is like مجرور. It's مجرور, but we can't see the كسرة because this is مبني. Remember, مبني we say في محل جر. So the بدل is also going to be مجرور. من في هذه الغرفة. فيها المدير. In it is the مدير. فيها because it's مؤنث. فيها. When we read it, we say فيها المدير. طيب, that's the reading and writing exercise. Then we have the reading exercise. The reading exercise says اقرأ, read. أحب أبي وأمي. I love my father and my mother. What type of jumla is this? If you're asked, you say this is a jumla fi'liya. Why is it a jumla fi'liya? Because it starts with a fi'l. It starts with a verb. So long as the sentence starts with a fi'l, whether it's madi, mudari or amr, then we say this is a jumla fi'liya. So this is a jumla fi'liya. In this case, we have to look for a fi'l and a fa'il, not mubtada khabar. Because this is jumla fi'liya, we look for fi'l fa'il. Where's the fi'l? The fi'l is uhibbu. Where is the fa'il? We'll learn inshallah in book 2 that the fa'il in this case, whenever it comes with it starts with a hamza, the fi'l mudara starts with a hamza like this, it's hidden. And this hidden dhamir is actually ana. We know it's ana because the hamza indicates that it's ana. Ana uhibbu. The fa'il is ana, it's a dhamir, mustatir. Yeah, a hidden dhamir, which is actually ana. How did you know it's ana? Because of the hamza. Whenever we have a fi'l mudari starting with a hamza, we know that ana is going to be hidden within it. Okay, uhibbu. So we have fi'l fa'il. Is this fi'l something which is muta'addi or lazim? Does it require an object or does it not require an object? As we mentioned last lesson, this is muta'addi. It requires an object. It requires a maf'ulun bihi. So where's the maf'ulun bihi? The maf'ulun bihi is abi. Abi is mansub. But we can't say the fatha because it's mudaf to ya al-mutakallim. Waw harf atf. Is ma'tuf to this. It's also mansub. But we can't say the fatha because it's mudaf to ya al-mutakallim. And similar analysis for the rest of the sentences. أحب أبي وأمي. I love my father and my mother. أحب أخي وأختي. I love my brother and my sister. أحب زميلي. I love my colleague. أحب أستاذي. I love my teacher. أحب الله. I love Allah. أحب النبي. I love the Prophet. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is a jumla du'a'iyya. It's a supplication. It's a sentence on its own, which acts as a supplication. أحب اللغة. I love the language. This is the maf'ul. The maf'ulun bihi is this. This is the object. Al-Arabiyyata is na'at for the lughata. طيب, so this is the homework. Now we're going to start the next lesson. الدرس الثانية عشرة. الدرس الثانية عشرة, the 12th lesson. The text in this lesson is a conversation between Su'ad and a young girl, Al-Bint. Su'ad and Al-Bint. Su'ad is going to be the one in control of this conversation who is going to be asking the questions, and the Bint is going to be answering. So here we have their names, but throughout the conversation their name doesn't appear. So I think it's one sentence each. So Su'ad Bint, and so on. طيب, Su'ad says, Assalamu alayki wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. As-salam means peace. Alayki, upon you. Peace be upon you. Whenever the dhama'ir, the pronouns attached to ala and also ila, this alif, which looks like a ya, turns into a ya. It becomes a ya. It becomes a ya with a sukoon, and then we attach the dhamir directly onto them. So if we had, for example, ala, alay, it becomes alayhi. Alayhi. Remember, the ha with the dhamma takes a kasra if it's preceded by ya with a sukoon or a kasra. It becomes alayhi. We don't say alayhu. So alayhi, that's if it was who. Alayha, alayka, alayka, alayki, alayhi, alayha, alayka, alayki. And if we're going to bring ya al-mutakallim, what's going to happen with ya al-mutakallim is we're going to have two yas. Ya and ya. And both of these yas are sakin. The ya of ala is sakin and the ya of ya al-mutakallim is sakin. Two sukoons. And this is problematic. So we need to come out of this, because it's not possible to pronounce two letters both coming one after the other and both of them having sukoon. It's not possible to pronounce this. So what we do in this case is we give the second ya a fatha. We give the second ya a fatha. So this equals one ya with a shadda. That's basically what shadda is. It means two of the same kind, two of the same letters, one with a sukoon and one with a haraka, be it fatha, kasra, dhamma. In this case it's fatha. So here we say alayya. What does alayya mean? On top of me. Alayhi, on or above him, above her, above you, masculine, above you, feminine, above me, alayya. And the same for ila. We say ilayhi and ilayha and ilayka and ilayki. And here we say ilayya, ilayya. Wa rahmatullahi, and the mercy of Allah, wa barakatuhu, and his blessings. So you're making three du'as for the person who you're giving salam to. The first is asking that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them peace. Next is rahmah, mercy. Next is barakah, blessing. When you make one supplication, assalamu alaikum or assalamu alayka, you get 10 rewards as mentioned in the hadith. If you add wa rahmah, you get 20. If you add barakah, you get 30 rewards. So we shouldn't be lazy when it comes to giving salam. We should try and complete the full salam and say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So here, when you're addressing a female, the kaf takes a kasra. If it was a masculine, it was ka, baytuka, lughatuka. Now we're learning baytuki, lughatuki, your house, by addressing a female. In English, we say you for both male and female. In Arabic, you has a gender also. When you're addressing a man, is ka. When you're addressing a female, is ki. The bint says, وَعَلَيْكِ السَّلَامُ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ. And this is what's wajib. When someone gives you a full salam, you can't just say وَعَلَيْكُمْ salam. You have to either repay that back with the same or better. So here, there's nothing better than the full salam, so you have to give the full salam. If they said assalamu alaikum, you can say wa alaikum salam, which is the same, or better, you say wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. طيب, and so on. So the bint says wa alaykis salamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And upon you be peace and the mercy of Allah and his blessing. Wa barakatuhu, his blessing, going back to Allah. So this is also a jumla ismiya. If we was to analyze, we say as-salamu is the mubtada. Alayki is the jar or majroor. Shibhu jumla khabar. So that's our sentence. And this rahmatu is ma'tuf to as-salamu. That's why it's marfu'. Mudaf, mudaf ilayh. And barakatu is ma'tuf to as-salamu. And it's mudaf, mudaf ilayh. Kayfa haluki ya bintu. Kayfa is a ismul istifham, interrogative pronoun. It's used to ask question about the condition of something. Kayfa, how. Haluki, your condition. How is your condition? Ya bintu. When we translate to normal English, we say, how are you, O bint, O girl? Ana bi khairin. I am well. Bi khair, I am well. This is jar wa majroor, shibhu jumla khabar. This is our khabar, this is our mubtada. Ana bi khairin. Remember, ba is a harf jar. Ana bi khairin, I am well. Walhamdulillah. And all praise belongs to Allah. It is very good. Because every good that we have, وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Every good that you have, then it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every blessing that you have, then it's actually from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Min ayna anti. Where are you from? So anti is the munfasil, the detached version of ki. So we're learning how to address a female. Anti is the feminine of anta, and ki is the feminine of ka. Baytuka, we say baytuki. Anta, if you're addressing a male. Anti, if you're addressing a female. Okay, so these are the two new additional damirs that we're learning in this lesson. A woman says ana, and a man says ana. So they use the same damirs. So the first person damirs are exactly the same for masculine and female. A man says ana, and a woman says ana. Ana min al-Riyadi. I am from Riyadh. Masmuki. What's your name? Ismi Aminatu. So just as the munfasil version is the same, the muttasil version is also the same. So the ya al-mutakallim is used for both masculine and feminine. All of the first person pronouns, they are unisex. They can be used by both males and females. Ismi Aminatu. My name is Amina. Aina abuki. Where is your father? Abi huna. My father is here. Fil madinatil munawwarati. Na'at man'ut. This is ism majroor because of fi. Abi, my father is here. The sentence ends here. Abi huna. It's a full sentence. Mubtada, and then the khabar is this dharf. Shibhu jumla khabar. My father is here in Madinatil Munawwara. Huwa muwajjihun. Muwajjihun, the jim has a shadda and it has a kasra also. Muwajjihun fil madrasati thanawiyyati. Muwajjih is someone that gives tawjih, some guidance or counseling. So he's a counselor. Fil madrasati thanawiyyati. Na'at man'ut. Na'at man'ut. Madrasati thanawiyya. Here in England we say secondary school. Secondary school. So he's a counselor in the secondary school. His father, her father is in Madinah Munawwara, and he is a counselor in a secondary school. Wa ayna ummuki, and where is your mother? Here, aydan huna. She is also here. Aydan means also. She is also here. هي طبيبة في مستشفى الولادة. مضاف مضاف إليه. هي طبيبة, she is a doctor. And this doctor, طبيبة, not طبيب, because female, talking about the mother. In مستشفى الولادة, this is maternity hospital. Wilada is relating to pregnancy and giving birth. مستشفى, so maternity hospital, where you give birth. ومن هذه الفتاة التي معك? ومن هذه الفتاة, and who is this young girl? التي معك, who is with you? التي is the feminine version of الذي. الذي we mentioned is اسم الموصول, a relative pronoun. A relative pronoun. And الذي is used for singular مذكر, referring to something which is singular and مذكر. So likewise here, this is singular but mu'annath. You use it to refer to something which is singular and mu'annath, feminine. Okay, so this is the feminine version of alladhi. Al-fatatu is the feminine version of fatan. Fatan. So if you wrote it down here, so we have fatan. Fatan is young boy. Fatatun, this alif stands like this now. Whenever this alif is going to be followed by something, we are going to affix something after it, it turns into a normal alif, a long alif. Fatatun, so we add ta marbuta. Fatatun is the feminine of fatan. Okay, here fatatun. وَمَنْ هَذِهِ الْفَتَاةُ الَّتِي مَعَكِ, and who is this young girl who is with you? Remember, we translate as who or which or that. وَمَنْ هَذِهِ الْفَتَاةُ الَّتِي مَعَكِ, and who is this young girl who is with you? أَهِيَ أُخْتُكِ, is she your sister? لَا هِيَ بِنْتُ عَمِّي, لَا هِيَ بِنْتُ عَمِّي, she is my cousin. Bintu ammi, the daughter of my uncle. In Arabic we have a word for maternal uncle and paternal uncle. So this is paternal uncle, my father's brother. Father's brother is عم. عم. And mother's brother is خال. ما اسمها? What's her name? اسمها فاطمة. Her name is Fatima. أهي زميلتك? أهي زميلتك? So زميلة we're using, not زميل, زميلك, زميلة, because the colleague is feminine. أهي زميلتك? Is she your colleague? لا, she's not my colleague. يعني usually colleague is someone who works with you or studies with you. لا, أنا في المدرسة المتوسطة وهي في المدرسة الثانوية. No, I am in middle school. Middle school here in England we say college. I am in college and she is in secondary school. ثانويتي is secondary school. مدرسة المتوسطة, middle school, here we say college. Just before going to uni. I am in college. مدرسة المتوسطة. This is نعت منعوت. Same as this نعت منعوت. And she is in secondary school. ألك أخت? Do you have a sister? لا, ما لي أخت. No, I do not have a sister. ألك أخ? Do you have a brother? نعم, لي أخ كبير. Yes, I have a big brother. وهو طالب بالجامعة. And he is a student at the university. ومن هذا الطفل الذي معك? And who is this young child, masculine, who is with you? So here طفل is masculine, so you say الذي. If it was طفلة, young infant, baby girl, it will be التي. طفلة التي. طفل الذي, who is with you. And who is this young boy who is with you, young child who is with you, an infant? هو ابن أخي. He is the son of my brother. So his nephew. This child is a nephew to the girl who is speaking. ما اسمه? What's his name? اسمه سعد. His name is سعد. أأمك في البيت الآن? أأمك في البيت الآن? Is your mother at home right now? لا, ذهبت إلى المستشفى. No, she has gone to the hospital. ذهبت, she went to the hospital. And this is one of the things that he wants to teach us here. ذهبت represents here, she has gone. So whenever you see a fi'l ماضي followed by ta with a sukun at the end, this shows that the fa'il is hidden. If it's not mentioned in the sentence, then the fa'il is hidden and it's going to be here. ذهبت إلى المستشفى. She went to the مستشفى. Okay. Now the exercises. The exercise we're going to set as homework. Whatever's not being explained, we're going to explain it now, inshallah. Tamarin exercises. اقرأ واكتب. Read and write. So this is a reading and writing exercise which starts here and goes up to sentence number 9. Okay. So you have to read and write. Placing the tashkil. So this is testing whether you understand the rules and its application. Number 2. اقرأ كل جملة. Read every sentence من الجمل الآتية from the following sentences. ثم قرأها أخرى. Then read it once again. بعد تغيير المنادى. After changing the munada. كما هو موضح في المثال. The munada is the noun that comes after the ya. Ya حرف النداء. The particle of calling someone. Ya, oh, so and so. The noun that comes after it is called munada. اسم المنادى. So we have حرف النداء. So ya. And there's other huruf similar to ya is called حرف النداء, the particle of calling. حرف النداء. The noun that comes after it, so if I said Ya Muhammadu, Muhammad now is al-munada, the one that's being called. Al-munada, the one who's being called. So here what is he saying? He's saying that you need to read the sentence, then you need to read once again after changing the munada, as is demonstrated in the example. The example says, أين قلمك يا أبي? Where is your pen, O father? Here it says, أين قلمك يا أمي? we're talking to the we're addressing the mother, we can't say qalamuka. We have to change this to qalamuki. So the example itself is wrong. I don't know why. It's trying to confuse us or something. Aina qalamuki ya ummi. That's how it's supposed to be. This is correct. So if you said aina qalamuka ya ummi, this is wrong, yeah? So he's trying to get you to practice the damirs. The kaf with a fatha is addressing a masculine. When the kaf has a kasra, you're addressing a female. So أعندك قلم يا محمد. أعندك محمد. Here would you say أعندك قلم يا آمنة. The rest of the sentence remains the same. You just need to reference the damirs correctly. Okay, that's the second exercise. The third exercise, it says أنث الفاعل في كل من الجمل الآتية. Make the fa'il, the doer, مؤنث. أنث الفاعل, make the fa'il مؤنث in all of the following sentences. So the example says خرج محمد من البيت. خرج is the fi'l, محمد is the fa'il, من البيت. If you want to represent a feminine fa'il, the fi'l has to take تاء التأنيث. Yeah, تاء التأنيث الساكنة. You have to say خرجت آمنة. خرجت آمنة من البيت. Yeah, so the fi'l matches the fa'il in gender. Okay, the fi'l matches the fa'il in gender. By adding ta'u ta'nith, you make it feminine. You make it feminine. So you can bring a feminine fa'il. So sometimes, just like here, you can say kharaja min al-bayti, and it means he left. You could say kharaja and take off Muhammad, and the sentence will still be correct. You can say kharaja min al-bayti means he left, and the fa'il is hidden here. It will be he, huwa. Kharaja huwa min al-bayt. Same here. Yeah, you could also hide Amina and say kharajat min al-bayt, and here it will mean she left, and the fa'il here is here. The fa'il here would be huwa, and the fa'il here would be here. She left from the house. And you have the option of bringing the fa'il, so that it's not going to be hidden no more. It's actually going to be whatever noun you put, the Amina, Khadija, Al-Mudarrisa, and so on. And the same here, Muhammadun, Ahmad, and so on. So what we're doing is we're adding ta'u ta'nith as-sakina to make it feminine. So ذهب المدرس إلى الفصل, you need to make the fa'il mu'annath. So if you make the fa'il mu'annath, you have to add ta'u ta'nith to the fi'l. So instead of saying mudarrisu, you say mudarrisatu, and then you add ta'u ta'nith. Abi, ummi, talib, talibat, akhi, ukhti, and so on. Number 4, تأمل ما يلي, reflect over the following. جلست الطالبة, جلست الطالبة. Okay, so this ta'u ta'nith, when you add it, you have to consider the haraka of the next word. If the next word starts with a sukoon, there's going to be a meeting of two sukoons, and this is something which is difficult in the Arabic language to read. In this case, when there's a sukoon, the ta has a sukoon and it's followed by another sukoon. To come out of this dilemma, this difficulty, we give this ta a kasra. That's what he's trying to teach you here. We give it a kasra. So whenever it's followed by al, the next word starts with al because it's going to have a sukoon, the ta takes a kasra. Whenever there's a word after ta'u ta'nith, as-sakina, that starts with al, then we need to give the ta a kasra so that we can pronounce it. So we don't say jalasat talib, can't read that. Jalasat ta is not possible. So we say jalasati talibatu. Jalasati. T. Okay, that's the point of number 4. اقرأ الجمل الآتية, read the following sentences. من الفتى الذي خرج من بيتك الآن. So here is practicing the ism al-mawsul. So al-fata alladhi, the boy who. Here al-fatatu allati, and this is what we've learned now. They mean the same thing when you translate it, but this is for mu'annath, this is for mudhakkar. Man al-fatatu, who is the young girl who left. Al-miftahu alladhi, the key, which. Mudhakkar. As-sa'atu, the watch, which. Mu'annath. Okay, so alladhi and allati. So allati is new. This is the feminine version of alladhi. Same thing. So it always has to have all of the asma al-mawsula. As we mentioned, they have to have a silatul mawsul, a sentence that comes after it. And this sentence can be jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya, or could even be a shibhu jumla, phrase. So alladhi kharaja min baytika al-ana. So all of this is the silatul mawsul. You should be able to Identify where the Silatul Mawsul starts, where it ends. Okay, number 6. أكمل الجمل الآتية بوضع اسم موصول مناسب. Complete the following sentences by placing a suitable اسم الموصول. And you have two options. الذي, التي. Where are you placing this اسم الموصول? في الفراغ, in the empty space. So here we have الكتاب. Are we going to say الكتاب الذي على المكتب للمدرس, or are we going to say الكتاب التي على المكتب للمدرس? This is what you need to choose between الذي or التي, and the same for the rest of them. طيب, those are the homeworks. الكلمات الجديدة, the new words. العم أخو الأبي, the father's brother. Paterno, uncle. The father's brother, paterno uncle. الخال أخو الأم, the mother's brother. So materno uncle. Al-khal is materno. Al-am is paterno. Uncles, yeah? If we add ta marbuta, it becomes aunties. If you say al-ammatu, naam, al-ammatu and al-khalatu, it becomes sister of the father and sister of the mother. Paterno auntie, materno auntie. Paterno uncle, materno uncle. Al-fallah is farmer. Al-fallahu is farmer. Mustashfa al-wiladati is maternity hospital. طيب, so I hope everyone is able to do the homework for next lesson. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.